Well, that was wrong. Let's try that again. That's better. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Picnic Table Chat Show. This is episode 8 of season 6. Season 6, episode 8. Wow, loads in, like almost countless numbers of episodes we've gone through now. Now, we were expecting to have quite a lengthy chat tonight about Sheffield, giving a few updates and so on and so forth, and talk about the Leafcoats. During the pre-show feeding, something has actually happened, and my wife has had to run out to babysit someone else's kids. So it's leaving me in charge of my brood, one of which is still very active and lively. So we might well be intruded. We might well get a lot of background noise. I hope I don't get in any trouble for copyright. So please do bear with me if we get any kind of interruptions from my youngest daughter. I will be obviously dealing with her as number one priority. But apart from that, we will have a brief chat before I go and deal with her for the rest of the evening. Thank you, Michael, and thanks for joining. Yeah, it's doing really well, isn't it? Like, it looks, the fungus ball looks massive as well in the tub, but believe me when I say it looks big from this angle. When you look at the other side of the tub, like most of the tub is actually empty. So it, like, that's almost built against this wall, if you know what I mean. There's still probably over half the tub empty. So I'm still leaving it for now, even though it's reached the top. It is growing an inch or two, couple of inches every day, like a nice substantial amount. Less than a week ago, it wasn't even touching the top. Then it was like a little peak of a mountain that touched the top. And now obviously it's spread along the whole top, where you can see it's doing really well. And there's a serious amount of ants. Like you say, Ants Davy did really well with this colony for me. He was looking after them for a little while whilst the setup was being made, etc. So he knew they were coming to me, and he nursed them to a nice large size. When they came to me, it was pretty difficult getting them in, we could say. Excuse my bad cough. Yeah, it was pretty difficult getting them in, but I managed to do it. They came in 2 pots, and there was a lot of fungus. We had a quite large fungus die-off, almost, well, after the first week, fairly fast, you know. So that I spoke to Ants Davey. He said that's kind of normal, you know, don't worry too much. So I've cleaned that out now. I noticed the other night there was only like 2 ants in the outworld that's used for rubbish. So I quickly put some cotton wool in the tube that they come in and out of, scooped out the 2 ants and chucked them back into the feeding chamber, and I just got on with cleaning and made it absolutely spotless in there, which was nice because it did have a fair bit of debris and leftover rubbish to collect. You know, I don't want to let it build up too much, but it is quite difficult getting in there sometimes. I have actually managed to put a barrier on both pods now, which is absolutely awesome. There isn't ants running about my house every time I open the lids. I will be looking to probably get a big old plant like stood up out of it at some point, but you know what I mean, like so that they can climb up, like, yeah, like a big thing. But I'm not going to rush to doing that. Obviously they are big colony, but they're not that big yet. I want to leave them to get a little bit more in numbers. Good evening, Dawn. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. So yeah, like I said, we were going to have a little brief chat about Sheffield. I'll go into further details probably on Sunday, just because I'm not going to have the time tonight with my wife having to rush out to do quick babysitting duties. Last minute changes, I'm afraid, but we will crack on. So Sheffield, if you've got any questions, please do ask them. Send me the comments and all of that lot, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Sheffield is coming along absolutely spectacular. We are almost completely full, trader wise, exhibit wise, and speaker wise. Like pretty much everything is just booked up completely. It is looking absolutely fantastic. You can find trader lists, vendor lists, whatever you want to call it, to almost all of them are on there, not all of them just yet, up on the website, and there is a few extra bits of information. I will do a full update on the website again soon, but well, we've just done like a bit of a revamp on the website, and that took me 3 or 4 days just going through page by page, just changing a few bits. And I'm not actually finished yet. I've got like 3 or 4 pages left to go through. But yeah, thank you very much, Dean. Yeah, honestly, I am so overwhelmingly happy about this. Like, it's going to make the Bristol show look like, well, the Bristol show was good, but it was still very amateur, whereas this is just on a whole nother level. The organization behind it is just, I've ramped up everything. Everything's so much better organized. Obviously, we're going to have loads of vendors there, loads of stuff going on throughout the day. And it's just, yeah, I'm really, really happy about it. And some of the exhibits that we've got coming and planned are pretty spectacular as well. I've still got more in the works that I'm working on and stuff like that. But yeah, it's coming together nicely. But yeah, if you've got any questions, please do ask. Now, I will be looking to get a minibus from my place down in Weymouth, going up to Sheffield. If you are looking for a lift, we might be able to work out a route that can pick people up along the way, but you will have to obviously put in a money contribution towards the fuel costs. It's basically the only way we're going to rent a bus is if we can fill the bus with people and make it cost efficient for all of us. Train wise, it is pretty expensive for people to make their way. Well, I know I'm going to be paying a lot if I'm catching a train. We could do a van, but again, it's very cost expensive, so on and so forth. So we're looking at getting a minibus, but we would like to see if anyone else wants to fill it. We looked at the map last night, Tom. Well, it's a zigzag, right? Yeah, right. So obviously, because people are scattered around the country as such, we would kind of ask you to try and make your way towards a like central location that we're going to be passing. Obviously, we can divert a bit, but we don't want to, like, it's going to be a long journey anyways. We don't want to spend an extra 4 hours going that way, if we, you know what I mean. But we'll make it work. So if you're interested in a bus lift, message me and we'll see if we can make it work. Can Dawn and I sleep in it? Yes, possibly I will be as well. So it's absolutely fine. I don't particularly care, to be honest. I literally looked at the wife earlier. I was like, you realize we're probably not going to be eating and we're probably not going to be having a hotel. Whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as we get there, it really doesn't matter, you know. And then, yeah, who cares? Let's see. So yeah, we shall talk about that. And there is, I think there is 4 seats up for grabs at the moment. So yeah, message me, let me know. I do need to work out the cost of what it's going to cost you, but it'll be a lot cheaper than if you make your own way there. Be lifting you, yeah. So I obviously, Michael, if you're coming, it's gonna be expensive for you, just as expensive as it is for us, I'm sure. As we spoke earlier, so it is painful. It is painful. But roll on Bristol and the Weymouth show, where it's a little bit. I mean, the Weymouth show. I've got one of our sponsors is actually one of my close friends, but he runs a business which is a van hire thing, you know, and they helped me move into this flat, and it's pretty much the only ones that I would trust with my largest tanks and whatnot, because they're so careful. So yeah, oh yeah, it's going to be an interesting trip with the bullet ants and the leaf cutters and everything else that I've got to bring for a start. Like, I'm probably going to end up packing out most of the boot with the tanks and stuff. So just a warning, if you are bringing or if planning to bring stuff, we will be pretty packed in. It will be very cozy, but you know, whatever, we can make do. Might drive down south just to, yeah, do it. It will be a good, fun bus journey. Like I say, it's going to be a mental bus journey. Let's be honest, it's going to be absolutely hectic. We're all going to be like on the excited side, and what, yeah, you know, it's going to be a mad bus journey. It'll be great fun, but yeah, so I've got loads to take as well. I've got like boards and posters and obviously all the exhibits, all of my stock, all the merchandise, all the paperwork, all the files, ticket doodad thingies, because we got, what's the word? We've got wristbands. Now, I'm really happy about the wristbands. It's something I completely messed up on at the last show. About halfway through the show, we ran out and got a stamp, which basically stamped you if you had paid or you were a trader. It was really unprofessional, but that's what I get for doing my first show and just jumping in the deep end. So this time we've actually got like wristbands. We've got wristbands for the guests, we've got wristbands for the traders, and it's, like I say, it's all so much more professional. When you turn up at the event, there will be 2 doors. There will be the normal doors for guest entry, open at 10 a.m. and there is the second set of doors there open for traders. They will be open from early. If you are a normal ticket holder, you will not be able to enter through that entrance. So if you try, you'll just be turned away, I'm afraid. That door will be kept open for traders who are bringing in their stock. And it will also be open for the early access tickets. Now, these early access tickets, you get to come into the show at about 9:15. We will still be probably in the middle of setting up a little bit, but you get to come in, have a little look around the show before the main bulk of people come in. You get to have a little look at the stock, maybe make a few purchases before everyone else comes in and gets the best buys as such. You get to meet everyone. You know, it's just a bit quieter at that time. So there is still a few early access tickets available online. You'll only be able to buy those tickets online. You won't be able to buy them on the doors on the day. On the day, you'll only be able to buy the normal tickets. Where was I? I was about to say something else, but I completely lost track of where I was going because I looked at the leaf cutters. So yes, there'll be the traders and early access doors, and then there'll be the general guest doors. There will be signs pointing you in the direction of toilets and things like that, because again, that's something else that I messed up on at the Bristol show, is we didn't actually have signage to the toilets. We had signs pointing you to the exhibition and things like that, but not to the toilets. So we've got that sorted this time. There should even be maps about on location showing you where all the traders are going to be located and the exhibits and where you can find things and do things. So that will really help as well. And I've just been invaded. Say hello, Evie. You're going to say hello in the microphone? Now, Evie's only... Oh, yeah. There you go. So Evie's only just started talking, and you're doing very well, aren't you, darling? And she's getting more and more words every day and getting clearer every day. And she's currently climbing all over me. You're going to sit down, sweetheart? If you sit down and behave, if you can sit here. You sit down. That's it. Give us a cuddle. That's it. Good girl. So this is where the stream gets really interesting. Because she's squeezing me very tight. Yeah, that was one of the issues, Baz, wasn't it? You got lost on the way to the toilets. Now, I will say this this building is much better in the way of where the toilets are. When you come in, there's the main lobby foyer area, and the toilets are the male's one side and the female is the other side. They're very well labelled and very clear. And then you go in through another set of double doors into the main hall itself. So it is fairly obvious, but I thought I'd do it anyways. You can never have enough signs. um, if anyone, yeah, thank you, Evie. If anyone is in the Sheffield area, actually, in the next month or so leading up to the event, you should start noticing. Yes. Yeah. You should start noticing posters popping up all over the place. We've had a lot of interest from different businesses, different people around Sheffield. Oh no, different people around Sheffield, and they've been very happy to take on posters and start promoting the event for us. So a massive thank you to any of the traders that are going to be doing that. Right, you go away. Oh no, she's getting very good at her talking. That's good. Oh, you ended up in the changing rooms. I didn't even find the changing rooms. It was a really good school, and we will be back at the same venue this year in Bristol. Next year we will be not this year. 2003 we'll be back at the same venue in Bristol. 2004 we are in a different venue in Bristol, but I'm not going to release any information about 2004 until at least the end of 2003 or 2024. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Now, I think Evie has just started attacking the other children. So I'm just going to pop some music on for 2 seconds whilst I go and wrangle a child. Well, that was fun. I'm just going to leave the music on in the background for now. But yeah, that's Evie. She's getting words. It is nice that she's beginning to talk, but it is non-stop talking now. I always liked the fact that I had two that never shut up and one that I didn't get a word out of. So when you get fed up with the non-stop talking out of those two, you go and look after the other one. But that's gone now. Right. So. Well, evil 13, 14, what? 13, 14, what do we miss? Oh, 23, 20, yeah, you know what I mean. You do that with signage. Yeah, but like I say, this venue is really obvious. Like, you can't really get lost, to be honest. It's like... It's got the big lobby and blah, blah. You'll see the maps anyways. There'll be maps about and signs everywhere, and yeah, it's really cool. It is also a very large venue, and there is a lot going on around the room, so the maps will be very helpful as well. Because the exhibits are sort of in a corner section, not in a corner, but it's like round the edge of something. So if you don't look for the exhibits, you might not ever find them because there's quite a lot going on in the room. But yeah, just look at the signs, look at the maps. There will be schedules as well. That's the other thing. There'll be schedules posted of what's going to be on the stages at what times, in case you want to catch something in particular. If you've looked at what is on the stages and something really takes your fancy, and you'll be able to run along in time for a certain lecture or whatever. We have lectures on one stage and sort of experiences and demonstrations on the other stage, where it's a bit of a less serious atmosphere to the lectures, even though the lectures are very fun, interactive. Try to do leaflets. Right, so have everything there on the map. Now, that is a very good idea, but right, so the budget for leaflets and stuff. So I ended up doing the programs for the Bristol show myself, because to print something like 100 programs, it was going to cost me something like 130 quid, something stupid. And then it was like in black and white. And I was like, well, I can just print off a load of, right, it's not good, obviously, but I printed off loads of the programs myself. I did like half color, half black and white. The color ones I laminated, and the black and white ones I didn't. The color ones I was going to charge 50p for. The black and white ones were completely free. And I left them by the front door of the Bristol event, so you could literally just pick one up, walk on in, whatever. I will say, obviously, the Bristol event, the schedule kind of went well out the window, but we only had something like 7 go on the whole time. So it kind of, if we had spent that £130 or whatever, see, 50 quid for 500 leaflets, that's not bad. Like, that's more of a doable, but that's more what I expected. When someone was like 130 quid, I was like, no bloody way. Like, no. So yeah, you know what I mean, but we should talk about that. But it is, like I say, only 7 people took them. So it's like, was it even worth printing it? Because probably not. But I don't know, I've still got a load of laminated Bristol programs here. I don't know what to do with them. So yeah, whatever. In fact, I've still got all the Bristol posters and other bits and bobs that will obviously never be used again. I've sort of with the merchandise and things, not merchandise, but like the merchandise of the stands and things like that, you won't see them very show specific. Now they're all sort of the Great Ant exhibition shows, because then I can use the same signage for both shows. It would just be crazy to buy independent pieces for every show. Yeah, see, collector's items, that's what I thought, Michael. It would be like the Comic-Con stuff, like that's worth bloody loads, you know. If you've got like one of the first Comic-Con posters, I have no idea how much that would be worth now, but it's like you say, it's collector's items. I don't know if we would ever reach that status, but we can dream, and there's no harm in holding it just in case. Right, so yeah, the Bristol show, it was still an amazing show for what it was, and for everything that didn't happen. What did happen, only like 40% of the show actually went ahead, but it was still an absolutely brilliant event. So like I say, I'm super psyched for Sheffield because it's all going ahead. Maracas, good speaking, Evie. Shake, shake, shake. Yes, good girl. She has a thing about instruments. Need someone to go around, dedicated photographer. Right, so I have spoken to a couple of photographers. Super Potato. I haven't spoken to Super Potato, but she's whatever. Right, I have spoken to several photographers. I am waiting for actual confirmation that they are going to be coming. I've also spoken to a few YouTubers, content creators, travel advisors, like those sorts of people, and they are coming along as well. So we should have lots of footage, lots of pictures, lots of coverage of the day as well. We should have the mayor of Sheffield come in, as well as some other fairly recognizable names, you could say. I won't blow anything out just yet. But yeah, there will be some quite recognizable people there. Don't swarm them. No, it will be fun because that's what they expect. It'll be brilliant. Can I send you a Bristol one? Yes, I can absolutely do that. One of us unsafe spending. Yes. Yeah, no, it will be absolutely fine. The Weymouth show is going to be absolutely fantastic in that sort of way as well. The Weymouth show is going to be completely different to the Ant shows because it's a showcase of the best things of the Jurassic Coast, including me and my aunts. So we are going to be there. But why would I not be? But it's a slightly different show. But we've got so many things like photographers and the like leaflets and all of that, like local to me, that want to be involved because they know me personally. So like the Weymouth show's going to be spectacular as well, and it's so local. I don't even have to worry about how much I want to take and stuff. I can pretty much take my biggest tanks and it wouldn't be an issue. Someone give that mare an ant colony. Yeah, right. So I have talked to them about ants and stuff. I don't think they're that interested in ants, but they are interested in coming along to the event. In fact, we've got quite a few, or I've had quite a few emails from different agencies, companies, whatever you want to sort of refer them as, that they're showing massive interest in the event, and do we have space for large groups to attend? And of course we do. So yeah, we've got quite a good interest on whatever. We got quite a lot of interest in the local area. I've been smashing out the advertising over the last few weeks, as you might have noticed. Posters will be popping up all over the country, loads around the Sheffield area, loads around Manchester and Rotherham. That whole sort of middle section of the country is very well plastered, and the rest of the country is going to get some as well. Now, Evie's just appeared here with green pen on her face, so that's interesting. But I'm going to leave that for the wife to sort later. Still, yeah, Weymouth. Yeah, if you can come to Weymouth, Baz, that would be spectacular. Obviously, you're more than welcome because you're still technically part of the Jurassic Coast as well. What are we doing, darling? Oh, like that? Oh, harp. Good talking. She loves instruments. That's her on a xylophone, isn't it, Evie? A tambourine. She's going to go find a tambourine. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting night. I have no idea how long the wife is going to be out for. But I say, this isn't going to be a much longer stream, I'm afraid, because I do have to kind of deal with her. But she is happy. She's dealing with, like, she does a lot of things herself. She's very capable, you know. What else was there to say about Sheffield? I can't remember now. Obviously, there is lots of food locations near the venue. We were going to have food vendors on site, but we've actually gone with less food vendors on site. There might be a few sweet stalls and things like that, but we really thought there was no point in trying to provide like hot food and stuff when there's McDonald's and whatnot just around the corner. You got Costa, I think it is, literally on the same road. There's just no point. So yeah, obviously enjoy the event, but if you want to pop out the event, as long as you keep your wristband on, and they're one of those wristbands that you can like take off easily. As long as you keep your wristband on, you'll be able to come back into the event, obviously. So go get some lunch, do what you want to do in the city centre of Sheffield. With slap bang in the city centre, you really can't get much more central. Well, you could, but not in the theatre sort of district. But yeah, we are in the city centre, which is going to be absolutely fantastic again. Yeah, I know Mackey's is very dangerously close, but they say it's the middle of city centre. There's so many food options, and it's probably never going to shut. What's the matter, darling? I can't come with you. Okay, I'm going to have to put music on for 2 seconds. Call you Jeff Goldblum. Yes. So what, like 6 months ago, Evie couldn't say a word. Now she's almost non-stop. An addiction to sausage muffins. Like, so I do not like the McDonald's breakfast. I never have. It's like, why would I go to McDonald's and get a breakfast? I want a burger. Now, it's before my watershed of 10 o'clock, so I'm not going to swear, but I feel very strongly about this. Why? Why would I want anything apart from a burger from Mac bloody Donald's? If I'm getting breakfast or stuff, I'm more likely going to go into like a Wetherspoons and say, cook me up some bacon and chuck in a roll for me. Or even find a bakery where they do like a breakfast pasty or something like that. But I'm not going to go, I don't know. I like the hash browns, but it's a bloody hash brown. I'm not that fond on it. I don't know. The cheese ruins everything. Their burger meat doesn't taste like normal. It's not the burger meat they use later, I don't think. I don't know. I'm not a McDonald's employee. I never have been. I don't know the magic that goes on in their kitchens, but I know I'm not that fond of the breakfasts. Has anyone seen the new Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic World, Domination? I haven't seen it yet. I really want to. I'm watching, the new Dumbledore, Secrets of Dumbledore. That's what we've watched lately. We're about halfway through it. Could not stay awake. I am awful. By the time I stop working, like my brain just, like within 5 minutes, I go from wide awake, typing away. I stop working, say I'm having a break or whatever, and then my brain just stops. 5 minutes later, I'm struggling to stay awake. So I've been making my way through it slowly. Yeah, all right. Supply me with discount. Right, so when I have McDonald's, I warn you, I tend to have about like 6-7 burgers. And I'll get the double cheeseburgers and I'll stack them, and I'll have like quad cheeseburgers and things like that, and I'll put the mayo chicken burger in with a double cheeseburger and things like that, because why not? But you got to bear in mind, like, I used to eat 6,000 calories every day as a minimum, so eating like that was like pretty standard for me. I probably can't even do that anymore. I don't know. I don't eat anywhere near as much as I did when I was training. When I was training, I'd say 6,000 calories. I used to have meals. We used to weigh out all my meals, obviously. When I used to have my chili con carne, which I would have 5 times a week as a minimum, it would weigh 1 kilogram. Like, between the rice and the chili, that meal would weigh 1 kilogram. And then 2 hours later, I'd be eating again. Yeah, exactly. It's the lifestyle and the medical. Yeah, I burn through so many calories. People with my condition actually burn through twice as many calories as you would normally burn through, because our body uses a lot to just do normal stuff. Like, we're using twice as much oxygen just to power our muscles, and it takes twice as much to get that oxygen in a, you know what I mean. So we do burn a lot of calories, and we do need a lot of food. It's probably one of the reasons I never put on that much weight. Even at my biggest stage, I was only like 96 kilograms or something like that, and then I dropped back down to 86 because I've always wanted to be in the lightweight category of strongman. But obviously, I don't eat like that anymore. I look at like that much food now. I'm like, how did I do it? So earlier today, I baked. Like, I do a lot of baking. I don't know if you know that, but I baked 2 massive platters of brownies. Normally, I only make 1 platter of brownies at a time, and I'll chop them up into squares and whatnot, and they tend to last a couple of hours. So today I did normal chocolate brownies, which was half the tray. The other half of the tray of that one was raisin chocolate brownies, because my eldest daughter loves raisins, and it's a good way of getting fruit into her. And then in the second tray, I did half chocolate with chocolate chunks, and then half chocolate with normal chocolate chunks and white chocolate chunks. And it was like, yeah. So I've managed to get through probably about 18 of these squares of brownies. Now I'm talking like each square is probably about half the size of my Samsung S10 phone. So, you know, two squares is about the size of a phone. Or was it about 18? Yeah, I probably had about 18, maybe 20 squares. So 10 phones worth of, yeah, I've probably had about 10 phones worth of brownie this evening, since about 3:30 this afternoon. I'm still well hungry though. I could eat it literally non-stop. Now the best thing to do, I find, is to warm up some custard, chuck a bit of chocolate in that, so you've got chocolate custard as well. Now, brownies should be nice and moist. Now the problem with mine has they've got so good, gooey and runny lately that even with my fathom-proof non-stick barrier, it broke apart as I was pulling it out, or as I tipped it out, because it was so gooey. It came out, but it just literally split, and I was like, oh no, that's the last thing I wanted to happen, was to split the brownie. But it doesn't matter, you know, whatever. Gordon Ansley, right? Yeah, I know. It's an ant show, but I'm talking food. I love food, and believe it or not, I trained as a chef for like 5 years, so I'm really good at cooking. I love cooking. It is a massive part of who I am, and always has been actually. I've cooked ever since I was a young age. I worked in a bakery, I've worked in kitchens. I would never work in one again, because it absolutely ruins it for you. You know, you end up hating the food that you cook. And in fact, I don't cook that many pasties anymore, and I don't really make that many Eckel cakes or eclairs or any of that lot that I did back in the bakery, because I just got so sick of it. I will say the best part of working in a bakery was I got to have as many free pasties as I wanted throughout the day, and my God, I ate a lot. I was like 15, 16 when I worked there. I ate a lot, and then at lunchtime you could take a free cake. It was like, yeah, right, what's got the most sugar in it? Haha. I'm still like that now. I'm literally sipping Relentless right now. I keep saying to everyone I'm going to stop drinking the energy drinks. I even moved on to Lucozade, and now I'm back on Relentless. It's really bad for you. Do not start drinking Relentless. You will find it hard to stop, and it's horrible, horrible stuff. He says as he takes a swig. Oh well. What else is new? So, did I just hear the door? That might be the wife coming home. What else is new? I've got so many new ant colonies. Like I said, I've been clearing out the stock. We have had our Black Friday sale active. Obviously, the posting is kicking my butt at the minute, but we are still posting out a few. Oh, hello, wife. Thanks for coming back. We are still posting out a few packages. So if you want to place an order, we do still have some stock left. Not much left at all now. Most of it is gone or going, and I have taken a few colonies myself. I've got some new Lasius emigratus and a few Niger colonies that I thought actually they're doing really well. I'd have them myself. Some Mesostraptors, and there's a few other things, all sorts. The shelves are pretty full again now. Okay, so Michael, you might have to make some donuts. We all like donuts. Fresh donuts are the best donuts, obviously. I mean, they're just the smell of them. Like, you walk into it's like a market, isn't it? You walk into like a street market and you smell the donuts cooking, and you're like, oh yeah. Like, the wife is looking at me with a smile on her face. She knows what I'm talking about. There was one in Weymouth, actually, that was really good for years, and then it just suddenly disappeared, and it never came back. So, yeah. Yeah, maybe I will cook some brownies before coming up to Sheffield. I don't know. We'll see. Like, maybe for the bus trip, we need like a few. I don't know. They are just chocolate brownies, just to say. Yeah. See, we're going to have to sort some kind of food stock. I'm going to have to plan out the route. I've never even looked at the route for Sheffield yet. So I will plan out a route as I get, let's say, we'll try and fill the bus, then plan out a route. workout stops along the way, etc. We'll probably just stop as and when we pick people up. We'll make it work. It'll be a fun trip. It'll be a crazy trip. Whoever I have driving us is going to hate us by the end of it, because they're probably not going to be an ant person. They're going to be like one of my staff or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, they'll probably be sick of all the ant talk by the time they're done. But that's what they get paid for. But right, so yeah, we are heading towards the end of this stream. Please do give me a message if you have any questions or anything further comments that we should talk about tonight. If not, we are going to start ending this stream very shortly. Massive thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. I'm sorry it's not a more in-depth talk about Sheffield. I did have it planned to do so, and then and I say all of that kind of happened, and I didn't even write a script, so kind of went out the window. But if you come back on Sunday, I will have an in-depth description of a few more details. And more details will be up on the website roughly about the same time as well, so you'll be able to see it all over the place. Like I say, you will start seeing posters popping up around the country and loads around the mid-section of the country, that sort of Sheffield, Manchester, Liverpool area very shortly. Posters going to be all over the place, so it's going to be hard to get away from the Great Ant exhibition very soon. Baz, can you get to Taunton? Yes, Taunton is very doable, because obviously that's on the way up that sort of route anyways. And yeah, go get, yeah, exactly. Should get sponsored by Just Eat or the Blood. Yeah, I should get sponsored by some kind of food company, and they can send me lots of free food and stuff. We'll work towards that. We'll work towards that. You never know what I can achieve when I put my mind to something. But yeah, right, I think I am gonna leave it there for tonight. Massive thank you to everyone, seriously, for coming in tonight. It's been really fun and interesting with Evie joining us as well. So thank you for putting up with that and allowing me to deal with it. Obviously, if you haven't yet, hit the little like button, do the stuff, hit the sub. You're all subbed anyways, but hit the like button, because that always helps. And don't forget to come back on Sunday for that more in-depth talk. If you have any further comments or any messages, send me a message anywhere you know I am. You know where to get me. I'm on most of the social media sites, etc. You know. Massive thank you to all of the sponsors, Answer Us and Valhalla Martial Arts, for sponsoring these streams and keeping us going with a few upgrades coming to these streams and chat shows very soon. And obviously a massive thank you to our patrons as well. So I'm just reading the comments as it's going. Massive thank you to our patrons as well, Stacey and Katrina. You're both absolutely fantastic for your ongoing support. If you are interested in joining Patreon, check it out. It's just £3 a month, but it all goes towards supporting the channel in one way or another. And of course, just a massive thank you to all of you again for joining. I'm going to leave it there. So as always from me, I will see you again soon, Ant fans. Good night.